All right, guys, we have made it to the final lesson. Obviously, there's going to be some bonus content in Final Cut Pro where if you're interested in pursuing a little bit of the video editing side hustle, I would call it. I enjoy doing it. I think it's really fun. Only so many people will enjoy it. Other people will hire it out, but it's a necessity. It's modern day marketing, and videos are everything, so why not try to cover some of it? This lesson, we're going to be talking about teams. Throughout this whole coaching session, you're obviously very familiar. I have a 4-person team right now. It's me as a lead agent. I have a buyer's agent, which is Stephanie, and then I have an administrative assistant that's full-time 40 hours, and her name is Kristen. Now, the 4th person is our full-time videographer, which is my brother, obviously, Chad. That's the structure of our team. I want to answer a couple popular questions, but before I do, I want to talk about the importance of an inside sales agent, which Kristen is basically in training to become because our administrative assistant is not licensed right now, and that limits to what she can and can't do. She can do a lot in our state of Pennsylvania, but it still limits her. So what I did is I paid the $300, and we're getting her through the licensing courses, and she is now taking the classes, and she's going to move into a role that's called an ISA for the exact reasons why I'm going to tell you of the 80-20 rule. So, the importance of an inside sales agent. Get a person to fill your schedule. Remember the 80-20 rule? 20% of your work needs to be in front of sellers, shaking hands, making deals, making videos, and marketing. If you're growing a team and you're going to be a lead listing agent, you have literally 4 tasks every single day. Listings, listing homes, marketing for those homes, listings, marketing, and videos. Making videos with your team to market on Facebook and Instagram. So if those are your 3 jobs, everything else is done by everybody else. And when you really break down what's done in a real estate transaction a day, after probably watching this, it's probably tiring to you. This is why people build teams, because you're going to get burnout. You get burnout doing this by yourself. So I'm going to tell you the way 80-20 rule, like 20%, right, needs to be in front of sellers. And an ISA can take all those leads you have incoming from the buyer, from all the listings that you start taking, everything. They get on the phone with them. They qualify them. They're pre-qualified with one of our preferred lenders. We don't get in front of these people until they're pre-qualified and the showings are already scheduled in our calendar anyhow. I pull up my calendar, I hit go to, I meet the person, I hand them our folder, and here we go. And by the way, when you get too busy to do that and you have 25 active listings like we do now, then you hire a buyer's agent, and then you pay a certain percentage of, or him or her, a certain percentage of, the buyers, everybody that closes. And then you just keep growing from there. And then, so I started with me. I hired my first admin, which became my buyer's agent. And then she trained her admin position out to the current admin we have. And now it's the team of 3 of us with my brother as a videographer. And now we're going to move Kristen to an ISA, and she's going to teach her job out. So the admin position has already been trained out twice, technically. And it's going to be trained a 3rd time when Kristen moves into an ISA role, strictly to keep Stephanie and I's schedules completely full. I think this is the most effective modern day model. I think an admin does not have to be a physical person there with you. I think there's a lot of virtual assistants and utilizing places like Upwork.com to find a virtual assistant, because a lot of it can be done virtually. So just kind of wrap your mind around that. I mean, building a team is a whole another 3-module course, guys. I will create one, and it will be available. But if you're interested, this is kind of just branching into strategies of a team. So when do you hire an admin? What's the first step, Sean? How did you know when to hire your first admin in your team? There's no really easy way to explain it, but when you're waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning just to have a personal life before 8 a.m. hits, and then going to sleep at 3 a.m. entering listings, that's when you know you need an admin. As you can tell, in the real estate world, there's a lot of busy work that goes on in between networking, which networking obviously is the most important thing you can be doing as a real estate agent, prospecting, networking, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of busy work. It takes time. Yes, that task only takes 5 minutes, but the other tasks behind it that also take 5 minutes, and then the entering listing that takes over an hour. Listen, guys, this all adds up. And now every single day when I wake up, I've maintained to have 24 hours to do 3 tasks. Make a video, market, make sure my Facebook and all my social media is getting marketing done with it, and listing homes. Everything else is taken care of by somebody on my team. Everything. So when you hire an admin is when you cannot take it anymore. You're getting burnout. I was getting burnout. So here's the crazy part. I had $10,000 in the bank account maybe. And, you know, some of that's for taxes too, right? This is before I even had the LLC set up and everything. And I said, you know what? I can't be doing all this. I'm going to take the leap. I'm going to say, listen, I will pay you minimum wage, and then I'll give you a bonus every closing we have, every side that we have closed. So if we close one side, that's $50. We agreed to pay $50. And then if we double-sided, if we were a dual agent, you'd get $100 for that closing. So I was paying her minimum wage, what I think at the time was $9.50 plus $50 every side closed. It turned out to be a $22,000, $25,000 a year position with bonuses included. You would not believe what this did for my business, guys. You can't see it now because all you see is monthly money going out. It was around like $1,200 a month. The way I made it sound in my mind is I was like, okay, Sean, you're closing 4 houses now a month, right? Or you're closing 2 or 3 a month. At that point, I was closing, I think, 2 to 3. I was closing 2 or 3 on consistency by myself, but I was getting burnout doing everything I had to do and keeping my pipeline filled. All I need is 1 closing a month to pay my admin. The other closing will be mine. Okay, got it. When I got this admin on board, and by the way, you guys are going to be way ahead of me because I wasted countless weeks sitting down and training her face-to-face and didn't record anything, which was stupid of me because I wasted so much time and I took away from listing and selling. You're going to have a screencast already set up if you follow what this course teaches you, and you're going to start recording everything that you do, everything. And by the time you hire an admin, you're going to send them a screencast profile, and it's going to say, here's how to do everything in my business that I'm going to send you to do. If you have any questions, call me. Simple as that. Then you meet with her weekly for an hour just to make sure she's on the right track. Guys, I cannot stress the importance of that. That's when you know you need to hire an admin. Why do you need to have an admin? Because what I just told you, you're going to get burnt out. There's no way you can do 100 transactions a year by yourself without feeling crazy. Around 100 transactions, 80 to 100 transactions a year by yourself, good luck, man. You are going to need some serious stress relief. It's just too much. I mean, it is too much. I think I do know a person that was doing it, and their lifestyle was terrible. I mean, what kind of lifestyle do you want? I like to golf. I like to, de-stress, and having the team and taking a little bit less portion a year, it's so worth it. When to hire a buyer's agent and an ISA, we are at that point right now. We have a lot of active listings. Buyer leads come in multiple, 3 to 5 every single day. Not all of them are great. 2 of them maybe pan out every single day. And I send them straight to Stephanie. A buyer calls me at this point. They go to Stephanie because she is the buyer's agent on the team. She takes care of every buyer. I never go on a buyer agency appointment. Now, there's another struggle you're going to run into when you create a team, which is like teams 301, 401. I work for the Sean Anthony real estate team. Guess who everybody wants to deal with? Sean Anthony. They want me to be there. So, again, you're going to be ahead of me because you're already going to have a screencast account. Now, when you get to this level, after you're already trained your admin, now you're going to screencast other things. You're going to record your screen and you, maybe at the bottom corner, showing them, hey, this is the inspection stage. Hey, this is the appraisal stage. Hey, this is what to expect next. Basically, those emails that you're sending them, you can just put a link in there of the video telling them what it is on top of the text and the contract to close, buyer contract to close, listing contract to close. Add a video. Have them recorded. Send that video to them in that email. Why? Because now they think they're working with you. Even though Stephanie's the one that's doing the busy work, they're connecting with you, and you can make the calls. I can't tell you how many times on the golf course I sent a text or took a call for 5 minutes and just to make them feel like they're working with me, but really Stephanie's the one that's taking care of everything because she's the buyer's agent. Now, how do you know when to hire an ISA? When you get to my point and you have those 25 active listings and you got constant buyer leads coming in, and now you're starting to show people houses again. That's bad, because when you start showing people houses again because Stephanie's schedule is too busy, that's when you know you need an ISA. At that point, your job is to fill your whole schedule with listings, fill Stephanie's whole schedule with showings, and then that ISA also becomes an ISA/showing assistant. So when she's free and she's not putting tasks in, she's helping Stephanie show houses. And that's I think I'm telling you guys, this is one of my favorite ways. I've been through so many team classes. I've seen other people's team structures. This team outline, I mean, it works for us, but I think it's super, super effective. There's going to be 4 people on my team licensed, or 3 people on my team licensed, 1 admin, and then a videographer who's my brother, who I got super lucky with. Videography is not cheap, and it's something you need in your business. Get a close relative that is a very creative, artsy person to do it and learn it. That's my suggestion there, because you're going to be spending a lot of money. So we're going to have me, who's a lead agent, just list and just markets on Facebook and make sure my social's on point. We have Stephanie, who only deals with the buyers. Every time a buyer calls my phone, here's the cell phone number. I just talk to them, pre-qualify them, get them going. And then the ISA will also be licensed, because when she's not filling Stephanie and I's schedules in Google Calendars with showing appointments or listing appointments, she's out helping Stephanie doing other showings. And obviously you can continue to grow, but this is the mold that I think works the best. And then, by the way, Kristen, when she becomes an ISA, is going to train her job out. Guess how easy it is for her to be able to train her job out? Pretty easy, because I've helped her with screencast. Everything is recorded. Every task that she does is recorded. And by the way, if there's something that needs to be recorded, you just tell your admin, hey, can you real quick screencast what you're doing and save it to our team profile? What blows my mind is screencast is free. Everybody needs to be utilizing screencast. How to hire and what to look for. To be honest with you guys, if I had to do it all over again, I would use Upwork.com. There's a lot of people out there that are really qualified. We got lucky. They hired an administrative assistant for the office, and that didn't work out at the office. So after she was left for another job with benefits, I contacted her, and it just worked. I allowed her to be home 3 days out of the week, stay home with the kid, and offered her an attractive bonus structure, and it just worked out. I got lucky. But what I would do if I had to do it all over again, after talking to a lot of people and being exposed to a lot of teams, I would utilize Upwork. I would utilize a virtual assistant until I could find someone that really fit while I was building my screencast library. After it's built, I would run a Facebook ad on my business page looking to hire an administrative assistant. Did you know you can do that now, by the way? Check this out. Jobs. Click here. This is just the front page of the jobs. Create a job. Then you create a job, and what you're hiring. Don't put the salary on there, to be discussed. People can submit their resumes. There's no more Indeed.com, Monster.com. Yeah, that works. It's great. It's cool. But now it's all on Facebook. Super simple. You can do it right from Facebook. While you're building that screencast library and your virtual assistant, such as that or Folio, which I've mentioned before. Folio is awesome. It creates the templates for you. You can set up labels, everything for it to basically just keep everybody intact. So with Folio and a virtual assistant, you should get by until your screencast library is full. And then I would post the job on Facebook and just kind of let them know that I guess it's safe to say you could end up paying somebody $20,000 to $25,000 per year. We started Kristen part-time. She started with 20 hours a week at $9.50 an hour, time plus $50 every time a side closed. And she did it for 20 hours. When we started closing and we got systems down that were closing 4 houses every single month, we were I upped her for 40 hours a week because one paid for her and the rest of the 3 were mine. So that's how I would do it. And what to look for. The disc profile. I'm glad we talked about that. A lot of companies hire around the disc profile. I would make them take a disc assessment and submit a resume just so you understand what kind of people you're doing. Kristen, just so you know, scored a high I and a high C. It's very like organization, control, and then joyous. Great for an admin. Just so you know, a buyer's agent, you want a low D and a high I. Very outgoing, energetic, but not really too competitive. You don't want them to be not competitive at all because you want them to generate their own leads. But you definitely don't want them really high on the D spectrum because you'll just compete with each other. It just doesn't work. And ISA, same thing. Joyous, I, low D, and maybe a little S or C in there because, they need to be organized as well. How much more effective is it to have a team for you and your sellers? Clients in general, I guess you could say. I think it's very effective. It's one of the reasons why we created a team because we now have 4 people working for one person rather than one. And as you can see, when you break real estate down into a real estate business instead of just a job flying by the seat of your pants, there's a lot involved to become a top producer and to become really good at how you do it and what you do it. There's a lot of systems involved, and it's just overwhelming. Guys, it was overwhelming. I was almost out of the business in the first 12 months because to make the money and to have the freedom that I wanted to have, I was working 80 plus hours a week. That's not the goal. The goal nowadays with all these leverage of systems is you can literally work 4 hours a day or less, and then everything else works for you. That's where I want to get you at. And I'm telling you, if you put the work in that I'm telling you, all this stuff is great that I'm showing to you. You can watch these videos over and over again to really master it, but you got to put the work in. You got to take action. Nothing will change if you keep doing the same thing. The right actions will lead to the right results. And believe me, the right actions will lead to the right results. And it's far better when you see how much your work pay off for you. So how does our team breakdown look? You basically seen that before. Here, let me show it to you again. It's in our operations manual. And it looks like this. I'm the CEO, listing specialist. Kristen is the executive admin, listing courting manager. Stephanie deals with all the buyers. Chad's video and support. And then Kristen's going to move here to an ISA buyer's agent. She's going to train her job out. This is going to be a new person. And that's the way our team will grow. Eventually, Stephanie, maybe she goes into the listing agent. Or maybe she goes to the listing specialist and then I go up. And then they grow the team from there. I think hiring myself out will be a little hard. I know people that do it, and you got to find, the interview process is crazy. And by the way, there's consulting companies out there like the one that I've hired to basically get me organized that will help you hire people, and they know exactly what to look for as far as hiring a CEO or a listing specialist out so you can move up to the CEO position. So, and that's great. You don't basically work any hours then. You just check in with your team and everybody, it's a module that swings for you. Honestly, that's where I'm looking to build this team and take it to, because my bread and butter and what I like to do is be right here with my coaching clients and just know that I could change someone's life with not only my words, but with my systems and things that I've learned to make it easier for you and just basically change lives in general. It's all I want to do. It makes me happy. And hopefully there will be a point where I can step away from my real estate team, let it run itself, check in with them, maybe just list, occasionally, and, could pursue my coaching career in general, because this is what makes me happy. Real happy. And I want you to know that, because that's very important. Guys, it's been great. I can't tell you how great this feels to be doing this. One last thing I want to leave you with is who gets paid what and how. That's very important for you to know. So let me just. Okay, here's our budget, guys. Who gets paid and what? So my admin makes. Where is it? Where is my admin? Right there, $9.50 an hour. I pay her $9.50 an hour right now, and I pay her $50 every time a side closes. So it's $1,760 a month, which is going to attain to $21,000. And her best month, she's making $500 a month. So if we take, maybe we'll just say she makes an extra $5,000. She's a $26,000 position for our admin, and our buyer's agent is making 20%, which needs to go up because she's crazy good at what she does, and she's proved herself throughout this year. So she makes 20% per closing. So if you take the number that I make a month and then you times it by 20%, you get this number down here. And she's going to make close to $55,000 her first year in real estate just from being a part of this team. And that's the benefit sale right there. Guys, I really can't stress that when you're recruiting and hiring a team. What benefits me coming to your team, Sean? That's a whole nother module too. So you're going to have plenty more time with me. We're going to be able to connect a lot, so don't worry about that. But when I hired Stephanie, she's got her license, and what's the benefit of working with you as opposed to going to take a 50-50 split? Here's how I explained it. Stephanie, my first year in real estate, I worked 80 hours a week. I ended up closing, my first part-time year, my first year with my license, it wasn't my full year. My first full year, I did 70 sides with basically an admin after February. But my first year, I finished out part-time. I was licensed in May, finished half the year out. I ended up doing 30-some sides, 22 sides. I had 22 closings in 6.5 months, and that was part-time. And do you know how many hours I worked to get there? Close to 80 plus hours every single week. I was going everywhere after work, running myself ragged. That's when I knew I had to take the full-time leap of faith from my job because I couldn't do it. I mean, I was working 8 to 5, then 5 to 2 a.m. doing everything else that I needed to do. But you got to do it. That's how you start in real estate. So I told her, I said, I closed 22 sides and I paid my broker 50%. 22 average commission, just so you know, around here is like $3,500 after everything, and we closed 22 sides. So that's a pretty good wage, but for 80 hours, so divide that into 52 weeks. I was making that a week. Divided that into 1480, was it right? 1480 divided into, 4 weeks in a month, $370 per day. I think I'm doing this right. And then divide that into 80, right? I don't think that's right. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is after 80 hours work weeks for $1,480 a week, it's not a lot. It's not a lot, and the lifestyle sucked. So, and mind you, the average agent doesn't close 22 sides at $3,500. Let's just say the average commission was $1,500 and you closed 12 sides, which is very likely your first year in real estate. That's actually hard to do, they say. So 12 sides at $1,500 after you take your split 50-50. Okay, I'm sorry, I did that wrong. 3,500 divided by 2 because you're splitting half and half with a broker. 1,750 times 22 I did. It's $38,500 before taxes, plus 80 hours a week. So, Stephanie, if you, at your best, your first year working 80 hours a week, want to make just over $30,000 after you pay taxes, be my guest. But if you join my team, you get to use my proven systems. You get to use everything that's already done. My phone already rings. You don't have to do any work. I hand you basically the leads to start off and then show you how to create your own leads. And I can guarantee you at least 15 closings the first year times my split, which is totally different because obviously it's higher because I've already negotiated that with my broker. Let's just say, for instance, it was 90% of 3,500, right? So I'm taking home that, and now I split that with her 20% because that's what she makes right now. So $630 times we did 70 closings. So that was the sell right there. First of all, you're going to make more money with just getting 15 leads from me. That's not anything that you create. I give you 15 leads for the year because I already know how to generate them. You make more money than you do with me for doing no work. And I'm going to teach you how to create your own leads so that you can double that next year. That's the sell in hiring a buyer's agent onto your team. And make sure you take the DISC assessment with them too. Not everybody, if they're a high D and they want to be the CEO and they want to be the listing agent, they're not the person you got to hire. Because if you hire them, you're just going to compete with them and it's not going to be right. You really need to make sure, honestly, I would hire a consulting company to screen the interviews, the people that apply for the job, just so you don't have a headache in the end. Make sure you're hiring the right people because if you don't, it's everything. So, guys, to go back, I think I've spent a good 40 hours with you. I really hope you gained some value from this. I can't tell you how this makes me feel to be at this point of my career to be doing this because I feel like I need to give back to the real estate industry in general. And I really want you to know how much it means to me that you've taken action and you're ready for the next step in real estate. And I can't tell you how it's going to make me feel when I get you to that next step in real estate after you follow all these actions I'm telling you to do and implement my systems, implement the systems that I've learned. I can't tell you, there's gratitude from the heart. It's just a great feeling, and I really can't wait to see you grow. I hope you enjoyed and got a lot of value from this. We'll see you around.